Hey parents, hey students, we've been working on metric conversions in class. So this is just a really easy peasy lemon squeezy way for the students to learn the concept, okay? So we call this the metric conversion stairs. I want the students to draw their stair steps for every problem, all right? We've learned an acronym sentence to help us remember the metric units. Our sentence is King Henry died, all of those are uppercase letters, by lowercase letter, drinking chocolate milk. So we have a contrast of uppercase letters here and lowercase letters. Each one of these letters stands for a unit of measure. This is kilo, hecto, CT, okay, deca. Now, this is the base. That's why I have it circled. The base houses three different measurements: meters, liters, and grams, okay? Lowercase letters, smaller units, deci, like a decimal, all right? Centi, like centimeters, and milli, like millimeters. Okay, so kilometers are massive. Those are like 10 football fields put together will give you 1 kilometer, right, or kilometer. Now that's why this is uppercase. It's the largest unit here. As we move down, the units become smaller in order, okay? Millimeters are really tiny. They're like the size of little dots, okay, on your paper, right? So these are larger units. That's why they're capitalized. Smaller units, that's why they're lowercase. This stair steps help the students understand how to multiply or divide and by how many numbers or what power of 10 number, okay? So also, we've been learning how to multiply and divide power of 10 numbers, so I want them to write their clue at the top. When we divide, we move our decimal to the left, where numbers get smaller. When we multiply, we move our decimal to the right, where numbers get bigger. A lot of students are having trouble distinguishing between right and left. So if they draw that here, they'll just know to move the decimal this way. When we divide, we move the decimal this way when we multiply. So let's get started. We have 72 and 900th kilometers converted to decimeters or decameters, I'm sorry. So here we're going to start with our first unit, kilos, correct? Kilo is here. And we're going to jump our stairs until we get to capital D, deca. So let's start to jump. 1, 2. We did 2 jumps, which means we're going to multiply or divide by a power of 10 that has 2 zeros behind it, okay? Now the question is, are we multiplying or dividing? Did we jump this way or did we jump this way? So we started at kilo and we jumped down to deca, which means we multiply. So we know we're going to multiply our initial number by 100. So let's go down here and rewrite. 72 and 0.9 times 100. So my students, most of them have mastered multiplying and dividing by power of 10. I'm just going to go through it really quickly. You look how many magic zeros you have in your power of 10 number. There's 2 magic zeros. So then we're going to move our decimal 2 place values. But which way do we move the decimal? Because we're multiplying, we're going to move our decimal to the right that way to where the numbers get bigger. So let's move our decimal. 1, 2. Replace the decimal and rewrite your answer. 7209. With a decimal at the end. They can add the zeros at the end if they like, but they still both have the same value. So our answer here is 7,209. 7,209. So 72.09 kilometers is converted to 7,209 decimeters. Good job. I have enough time for one more example. So one more, that's it. Ms. Durham has to go. For our next problem, we have 14 liters converted over to kiloliters, okay? So you're going to start with your first unit of measure. We're going to start at liters, which is here at the base, and we're going to jump until we reach kiloliters, okay? So here we're starting here. 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jumps gets us to kilo. So we know our power of 10 number would be a 1 with 3 zeros behind it. Now the question is, are we dividing or are we multiplying? So we started here and we jumped this way. So that means we're going to divide by that power of 10. So we're dividing our initial number by 1,000. Go back to your problem. Okay, I'm going to rewrite our equation. 14 divided by 1,000. My students know how to divide and multiply by power of 10, right? We're going to move our decimal either left or right. If you don't see a decimal in your number, class, where do we find our decimal? I hope you said at the end. Very good, at the end of the number. All right, so here, 1, 2, 3, 3 zeros in our power of 10, which means we're going to move our decimal 3 place values. But which way? We're dividing, so we move our decimal this way where the number gets smaller. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3. Replace the decimal. Fill in the empty space with the 0. Our new answer is decimal 014. Decimal 014. Okay, so in math language, you would say this 14 thousandths. Good. So 14 liters is converted over to 14 thousandths kiloliters. I hope this helps everybody. Miss Thorne will miss you. I will see everybody tomorrow. Deuces.